Jackson State was the first HBCU to have their spring game televised last year and has done some great numbers over the years, even the years when they were not winning SWAC championships. But looking at the attendance for a lot of these FCS schools, as well as those schools in the SWAC, to me, I'm wondering exactly, will there be any of those conferences spring games shown within the coming week? We're going to go ahead and get into this right about now. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, share these videos, and tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's about a positive vibe. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in this thing. Because I'm like, Coach, here you go. Coach, where in the world are you going to take us now on this trip that you got going on with this daggone the spring football game? Coach, what you on, bro? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. There's been a few folks that have approached me asking questions. And, you know, I like to, questions that's normally asked, I like to go ahead and dig in a little bit to get, you know, to get some type of information as far as what, you know, what's out there, you know, as far as what to come back and give, you know, get the masses as far as some things that I may think or may consider could possibly happen. I'm looking at Jackson State, you know, they got their spring season ready to kick off. And then you got all of the other HBCUs, Alabama A&M, Alabama A&M, I believe their spring season is already going. You got Tuskegee, their spring season is happening now. So you got a lot of different football programs and a lot of these different HBCU conferences in the MEAC, the SWAC, the SIAC that are already shaking and baking when it comes down to getting their spring football popping off. And the $1 million question I have, I said, okay, we saw Jackson State on ESPN last year. They had their spring game televised. How many of these games are going to be televised this year as far as the spring? Last season, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it because also another, who was the SIAC, Albany State, I believe they had 5 games that was shown on ESPN as well last year. So all I'm getting at, HBCUs are happy to be on your platform, but the question I have to ask is, what's next? What's next for these HBCUs? Because their brands generate a substantial amount of money in which, as I stated previously, those subscriptions are being paid to these different networks for people to watch the content. I appreciate the former head coach at Jackson State who said many of the things that people were thinking, but never let those words echo out their mouth for the masses to hear because they didn't quite understand exactly what the response was going to be. Now, I want you to keep in mind one thing, right? With all the police brutality that was going on at that time, we had a lot of folks that they got sick and tired. And many of you was out here marching, upset and angry at the different things that's going on, and you wanted answers. You wanted people to bring forth information to help us all understand why. You wanted people to give you answers to why did we lose a George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Elijah McClain, Philando Castile, Michael Brown, Tamir Bryce, and Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery. Everybody wanted to get an understanding of why. Why were they taken away so soon? Why is there so much resentment towards people that don't look like those that were taken away as soon as they were? Well, we had the pandemic that happened. Let's not forget about the pandemic. And the NBA players, they took that stand against the NBA and said, you know what? Enough is enough. We're not going to continue to keep standing by while nobody's doing anything to help the people out there to get some answers as far as what's going on. Why is all this brutality going on with the police? Or with 12. They want to know why is all this brutality going on with 12? They're trying to get understanding of that. And you know what? Like I stated before, everybody took a stand to get an understanding of, hey, listen, we're not going to take this anymore. And people begin to notice. Let's go ahead and let's invest. We're going to pledge money to the HBCUs. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I'm not saying none of this for people not to want to invest, because I appreciate you invested into the HBCUs. Those that pledged, I would really love for you to go ahead and cut those checks to those institutions, because guess what? Those finances are so much needed by those that you said you was going to pledge the finances to. That's all I'm getting at. But people forgot. They forgot one thing. You had Colin Kaepernick, who was out here taking a knee for God knows how long. All of this stuff was already going on, but it hit that feverish pitch. It was like, it took a little while for it to really just start burning. You know how when mama get mad at your behind because she done told you to sit down 1,000,001 times and you didn't listen? Or better yet, when your pops tell you, hey son, I need you to go over there and clean up your room, and you act like you ain't heard what pops had to say, you just sitting there playing a video game. And when that hand come up behind the back of your head, bow, then all of a sudden you got it. Because you done push pops far enough, you push mama far enough, now they got to thump your behind for you to understand what's happening. Remember when Jay-Z said, okay, we did that. What's next? Okay, we've been on ESPN. We've been on ESPN Plus. We're paying the subscriptions to watch these games on TV. ESPN Plus, I had to take a look at this from quarter 1 of 2021 to quarter 1 of 2023. Number of subscribers that have subscribed to ESPN Plus have doubled. I think it's like 12.1. Right now, it's 24.9. How many of these HBCUs, the fans of HBCUs, or the fans of FCS schools have kicked in paid money to watch their teams play on this platform? There's nowhere in the world, just like you show all of these games on that platform at a particular time throughout the season, why couldn't you go ahead and give them an opportunity for them to have their spring game show? $1 million question is, heck, schools, why not you guys go ahead, invest in the equipment, and you broadcast your spring game so that your fans can go ahead, pay into your school directly for them to watch the spring game? That's all I'm saying. It's like right now, I don't know about you. We're coming up on, Tomorrow Leader Sports Network is coming up on 3 years of covering HBCU sports. This will be my 3rd year coming up within a matter of a couple of days now. And I am extremely happy that I've been able to do this for the past 3 years. I want to continue to keep doing it. It's time for us to get people, not get, I don't like the word get. It's time for people to understand our product is valuable. There's a lot of folks out here trying to clamor to our product because they know daggone well what it's worth, just how valuable it is. But because people know how valuable the product is, they're willing to come out here and do whatever it is that they need to do to try and shortchange us to get as much out of us as they possibly can. Like Jay-Z said before, we did that already. What's next? Myself, like many of the other HBCU fans out there, would love to see not only the spring games, but the scrimmages, like for basketball, if baseball has something going on for them, the softball has something going on for them, or better yet, track and field, like prelims, like warm-ups before the season starts. We'd like to see what's going on with these athletes to give them the opportunity to have all of their information showcased so that it can be reported back to the masses to continue to get people to see the bigger picture that we got some daggone great athletes over here on all the sporting platforms and all the different sports that's being offered at these HBCUs out here kicking tail. And they should have their names ringing just as loud as everybody else. That's all coach is trying to get after here. If the commissioners for these different HBCU conferences have gotten out here and made the relationships, it's time to start standing on those relationships for them to give back more. Because again, here we are now. We're ready to go into the 3rd season. The 3rd season. Can't say the product ain't worth it, because we're seeing some daggone good stuff going on here. I appreciate the NCAA having more HBCU teams in the tournament this year. I appreciate the NIT as well as the WNIT having HBCU programs playing in those tournaments. When you have more eyes on the prize is the product. That's going to bring more people in to be a lot more aware of what's being offered. We know how valuable our HBCU sports are. And we just want people to take us more serious than what they have been. But guys, coach ain't gonna hold you up no longer. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here because I don't want y'all something to get the organ out. Coach, oh, they're preaching again. No, we ain't gonna do that. I ain't passing the collection plate around nowhere. I'm just simply saying, I'm just letting you guys know, hey, listen, Because you haven't seen me, post post too much of anything lately, I'm over here trying to, wrap my mind around a lot of different things as far as where we're going to go with this thing. Where can we see HBCU sports take off at? But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But until next time, be the one and lead.